it gets easier because when you're working in a small market like Cheyenne, you're going to be shooting, you're going to be writing all your own stuff, you're going to be producing your own stuff, you're going to be editing your own stuff. So you're doing 5 different jobs and you still have to get that stuff clean on the air. Whereas here in Denver, I come in and I have an editor, I have a photographer, and they put all this stuff together for me. And it's nice because I can really just concentrate on my on-air presence and also on my writing because I write my own stuff. And I don't have to worry about shooting or editing my own material. Other stations here in Denver do. For example, 9 News and 7 News, they have gone that what we call multimedia journalists, backpack journalists, where you have to shoot, write, sometimes run your own live shots. And the industry continues to change that way. For on-air guys like me, I hate it because I didn't get into this business to shoot or edit or anything like that. But these are skills that you will need to know in smaller markets and middle-sized markets like Colorado Springs. So the trek usually would be from a place like Cheyenne or Grand Junction. You're going to be going to a place like Colorado Springs, spend a couple years out there, gain more experience, just kind of develop your on-air personality even more to get you to that next level. Kind of just going back to what I was saying before, television news in a way is almost like, I call it like almost like Major League Baseball, because when you get to a big market like Denver, the top 20 market, you have to be polished on the air. Yes, make mistakes on the air still, but it's all about developing that on-air personality, your presence. That's key. Whereas in smaller markets like Cheyenne and Cedar Rapids, where I worked at previously, you can kind of make these mistakes and you kind of just grow into a better anchor, a better reporter, or whatever it may be, whether it's a photographer, producer, you work on your writing skills, you work on your editing, you work on your shooting, but you can make those mistakes in these smaller markets, whereas when you get to a bigger market like Denver, the room for mistakes is very small when you get to a big market like Denver. So you start small, get a bunch of experience there, learn everything, because again, when you get to a place like Denver, in a way, 7 News and 9 News, they're doing everything. I saw Cheryl Preheim last year running her own camera, and she's been in this market forever. So you just have to be flexible because the industry does continue to change because there's so much out there, so many resources out there as far as like social media. And the best thing about my job is you kind of cover everything. You become an expert in almost everything. You're gonna have to come in with some skills for sure and build an audition tape, get a lot of your experience at your internship. So definitely be involved, learn how to shoot, learn how to write, learn how to edit. And when you're at these internships, if you wanna go on the air, consistently practice your stand-ups, consistently bother the anchors to get on the anchor desk to do some reads. And I think a lot of that stuff you're gonna be doing here, but you have to get comfortable on the air. And plain and simple, that's the #1 thing. And they also had a live truck out there, which is critical when you're finding your first job. I always tell people, you go to a station with a live truck because you need to get as much live experience as possible. Because when you get to Denver here, that's all I do here is go live. Obviously, not every live shot is gonna be perfect, but it's just being comfortable on the air. And obviously when you're first on camera, in Cheyenne, there was like sometimes I was like just stone cold scared, to be honest with you. You kind of just get over that fear because it's just repetition. You just keep doing it over and over and over again. And same thing when you're on the anchor desk. You're a little uncomfortable, you're a little awkward at first, but then you just kind of find your mojo and you develop that. And you just develop those skills as you move on from a place like Cheyenne to Cedar Rapids to a place like Denver. Favorite part about the job? Just telling stories. Because it's all about just getting experience, getting in that internship, networking, because the more people you know, the more willing they're gonna help you out down the road. And thank God I've had a bunch of mentors to kind of steer me in the right direction. And it's all about just getting experience right now. So take everything that you have here, use these skills, get your internship, and really excel at that internship. Because some of these interns that we get at Fox, and they don't do anything. They were willing to just kind of get the credit and that's it. But the ones that make the best out of their internship. So for me, I work with a lot of the reporter interns and anchor interns. So we bring them out in the field because they have a positive attitude. they're interested in what we're doing, and you can see that they're motivated and driven, and this is what they want to do. The ones that waste their time and just like get in the way, then we're not going to take them out, you know, because, and that's the thing, you know, for you guys that want to be on the air, get to know the reporters, get to know the anchors, get to know the photographers, because these are the guys and girls that are going to help you out make your resume tape, which is needed to get your first job.